Hello everyone, good morning to all of you. Chalo, then we are starting our next topic, size of nucleus. Okay, Chalo, I have wrote the heading 13.3. Just a minute. 13.3, the size of nucleus. Okay, let's start. The best and nearby right postulate are established by the Rutherford. सबने Rutherford का नेम सुना होगा. Rutherford and his famous experiment alpha scattering experiment, which is done by their student Geiger and mastered. Okay, then listen my word carefully. These two students of Rutherford performing the experiment alpha particles experiment, which is the experiment in which alpha particle are thrown to the foil of golden metal. Okay, then what happened when this alpha particle crossing this foil, it's deflect. Okay, this there is a light issue, then listen my word carefully and pay attention over here. Then listen my word, then this alpha particle pass through this coil, if it's pass through this foil, it's scattered at different angle from which they are, from this observation they are derived some details. The first detail was that nucleus is hollow, and the second detail was their total mass is co-center at the small point which is called nucleus. 99.99% mass are there. We all discussed this point in the previous chapter, atom. Now we are looking for the size of nucleus. Then what is the how to find out the size of the nucleus? Then alpha particle, just a minute. So for to find out the size of the nucleus, Rutherford make the alpha particle of energized 5.5 mega electron volt by potential energizer. This जो हमें अल्फा पार्टिकल की एनर्जी इंक्रीज करनी होती है ना, उसके लिए हाई एंड लो एनर्जी की मशीन्स होती है, एनर्जी गन्स होती है, जिसके बारे में गाइगर मास्टर के लास्ट प्रीवियस एटम वाले लास्ट टॉपिक में आपको बताया हुआ है. आप चाहो तो वहां से देख सकते हो. देन अल्फा पार्टिकल ऑफ 5.5 मेगा इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट आर थ्रोन टू दिस फॉइल एंड मेजर दी, listen my word carefully, distance of closest approach. Distance of closest approach means when the alpha particle has the energy of 5.5 mega electron volt and thrown to this coil, then alpha particle nucleus and foil nucleus are positively charged. They both had coulomb's repulsion force. Then this repulsion force and alpha particles kinematic energy when match, they are stopped and return to their opposite direction. Okay, then when this alpha particle is most near to the this nucleus, this distance is called distance of closest approach. One more time, look, this is my alpha particle, sorry, this is my golden foil nucleus, and this is plus 2 means this is my alpha particle nucleus. Then when I throw this alpha particle from here, it reach to minimum of this distance, या फिर reach to closest of this nucleus, then return opposite to that direction. Okay, then this distance is called distance of closest approach. From this distance, Rutherford doing the number of experiment and find the size of nucleus is about nearly 4 into 10 raised to minus 14, 4 into 10 raised to minus 14 meter. But the problem with this experiment is, if I increase the energy of alpha particle, what happen? If I send the alpha particle of 7.5 mega electron volt, then this distance of approach may be decreased. More and more energized, less and less number distance of closest approach, then this experiment is Probably wrong. Then nowadays the experiment done by spectroscopy, spectrometer and all of that. Then we send instead of alpha particle we send energized electron. Number of experiment occur, and nowadays we derive the original size of nucleus, and that is 1.2 into 10 raised to minus 15 meter, or say 1.2 Fermi meter. You know na, 10 raised to minus 15 meter is equal to Fermi meter. Then this is our रेडियस फॉर अल्फा पार्टिकल, बेसिक रेडियस आप ये कह सकते हो कि बेसिक से बेसिक रेडियस ऑफ हाइड्रोजन एटम। क्लियर हो रहा है आपको? देन द रिलेशन बिटवीन या फिर रिलेशन फॉर फाइंडिंग द रेडियस ऑफ न्यूक्लियस इज R is equal to R0 a raised to 1 by 3, where A is the mass of any atom. A is the mass of any atom. R0 is this common radius 1.2 into 10 raised to minus 15 per meter, and this is our R. According to change in atom number, the mass of atom change, then the radius of atom change. As the atom number increase, mass of atom increase, then the radius also increases. Clear हो रहा है? Then this is the relation between radius and atom for finding the radius. Okay, then R is equal to R0 a raised to 1 by 3. Now some interesting point over here is density. Listen what? Density of nucleus. यहाँ पे पूरा अटेंशन देना. This is the one of the most important detail of size of nucleus. Density of nucleus. First more important is this equation, R is equal to R0 a raised to 1 by 3, where R0 is equal to 1.2 Fermi meter. Then the second thing is density. Then listen my word, density of any nucleus, listen my word carefully, density of any nucleus is constant all the time. Density of any nucleus is constant all the time. How I get this point? Then look, if we want to find out density, then rho is equal to mass upon volume. What is the mass of any atom? A. Mass of any atom A. Then how we find out the volume of any nucleus? How we find out the volume of any nucleus? Then volume of nucleus. Then nucleus is like a sphere. Nucleus is like sphere. We know the radius of sphere. We know the radius of nucleus, means we know the radius of sphere. Then if we want to get the volume of nucleus, then the equation is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Then r, what is the equation for r? R is equal to R0 a raised to 1 by 3. Then R0 a raised to 1 by 3 cube. Clear? 4 by 3 pi r cube. Mass upon volume. Clear? Then look at this. A upon 4 by 3 R0 cube. R0 cube into a raised to 1 by 3 cube. Cube cancel. Then this is a cancel. Then my rho is equal to, I have wrote it here, rho is equal to 3 by 4 rho cube. Then my rho is constant all the time. Value of rho is 1.2 Fermi meter. Then we can say that our density of any nucleus is constant all the time. Means as we increase, listen my word carefully, focus चला गया है. As we increase the, just a minute, density is constant all the time, means as we increase the volume or as we increase the mass of the atom, volume of the atom is increased in proportionality. Then our density is constant, mass upon volume. देखो डेंसिटी की इक्वेशन में कहीं पे भी मास की इक्वेशन की या फिर मास नंबर ए की कहीं पे भी पॉइंट नहीं है. मीन्स ये जो डेंसिटी की इक्वेशन है वो ऑल द टाइम कांस्टेंट है फॉर एनी न्यूक्लियस. देन द वैल्यू ऑफ दिस nucleus, this density is probably nearly equal to 4 point या फिर 2.3 into 10 raised to 17 meter, kg per meter cube. Then look at this is the constant value. And the another thing is this density is very very much higher than our normal density. What is the density of water? Density of water is 10 raised to 3 kg per meter cube. Then look at this density is 1.7, 2.3 into 10 raised to 1.7. This is the very high density for nucleus. How we get this much density? Now listen this my word. Rho is equal to mass upon volume. Then we know that total nucleus is hollow. We all know this from alpha scattering experiment that if this is my nucleus, then my mass is over here. 0 means neutron, plus means proton. Then my whole mass is co-center at the small point. This is the our mass and this is our nucleus size. Nucleus size and this is our mass size. Then look at this. Our volume is very much higher than compared to mass of the nucleus. Then as volume is increased, the density is increased. Sorry, volume is increased, density may be decreased. But listen, density is constant all the time, but compared to mass to volume, volume of the nucleus is very much higher. The density is, how can we explain? Density means, listen my word carefully. Density means मास पर वॉल्यूम में मास कितना होगा? ध्यान से सुनो. अगर सोचो मेरे पास कोई एक सॉलिड मेटल है, इस सॉलिड मेटल की बात करूं, सॉलिड मेटल के अंदर दिस आर दी एटम्स ऑफ आवर सॉलिड मेटल, दिस आर दी एटम्स ऑफ आवर सॉलिड मेटल एंड सेम साइज ऑफ आई टुक दी any bowl and pour the water in that bowl, then we saw that this is our atom of water particle. Then look at here and look at here, we know that density of this solid metal is higher compared to this metal, this liquid. How? Density means volume, sorry, mass per volume. Then look at this, if I choose this much of area of volume and same area at over here, then we know that mass per volume over here is higher, then density of this solid metal is higher compared to this. In the same way, volume is very much empty compared to this mass. Then density means density of any nucleus is mass per volume, which means वॉल्यूम के अंदर कितना मास है. Okay, if you don't get the answer how density is very much higher compared to the normal liquid, the simple solution is the size of this volume is very much low. Listen my word, radius may be in 10 raised to minus 14 or something, 10 raised to minus 15 or something. Now radius is in denominator. Look at this, radius is in denominator. As the radius is in denominator, 10 raised to minus 14 multiply by 3, then 10 raised to minus 42. When this 10 raised to minus 42 goes up, then it becomes plus 10 raised to minus 42. Then this means density is very much higher. I want to tell you that our density of nucleus is very higher than density of any normal liquid particle. Listen my word, this water particle also has the atom and that atom also has the nucleus. Then वाटर पार्टिकल के अंदर जो न्यूक्लियस होगा, उस न्यूक्लियस के अंदर जितने भी पार्टिकल्स होंगे, सुनो वाटर पार्टिकल है तो वाटर पार्टिकल के पास एटम होगा, एटम के अंदर कौन सा एटम होगा? H2O. और इस H2O एटम के अंदर कितने प्रोटॉन? 2 + 8 10 प्रोटॉन्स होंगे, 10 प्रोटॉन्स होंगे एंड मे बी 2-3 नंबर ऑफ न्यूट्रॉन्स होंगे. तो उस वाटर पार्टिकल के अंदर भी जो न्यूक्लियस है उसकी डेंसिटी भी ऐसी होगी. वी आर कंपेयरिंग डेंसिटी ऑफ न्यूक्लियस विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू डेंसिटी ऑफ एनी एटम्स. क्लियर हो रहा है? now this next and very much important topic of this lecture we are taking. next lecture देखो नेक्स्ट लेक्चर जो है वो सॉरी नेक्स्ट टॉपिक जो है वो वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट है. नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज मास एंड एनर्जी. इसको कहाँ पे ले जाऊँ? मास एनर्जी एंड न्यूक्लियस ऑफ न्यूक्लियर बाइंडिंग एनर्जी. ओके, 13.4. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी आर डिस्कसिंग अबाउट द mass energy. Then have you heard the word Einstein's relativity equation? E is equal to mc square. This is the most famous equation of physics. Okay, Einstein's equation, E is equal to mc square. Then what is the meaning of this equation? This meaning of this equation is, if we move the small m mass with the speed of square of light, then it's become the energy. In the same way, Einstein explained that any mass, देखो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हम क्या करते थे पता है, जस्ट टेक अ केमिकल इक्वेशन, C plus O2 gives CO2. Simple है, simple equation. C plus O2 gives CO2. I don't know it's correct or not. C plus O2 is equal to CO2. Then look at this. We balance both the side like this. First of all, reversible process. Then C plus O2 gives CO2. CO2 को break करोगे तो C plus O2 separate हो जाएगा. We balance the and energy and mass separately before the Einstein gave this equation. Okay, we balance the initial energy is equal to final energy, initial mass is equal to final mass. But after giving this equation, we balance mass as a energy. Look my word. Here my word, that mass can convert into any type of energy. Any type of energy, and the same way any type of energy can convert into mass. Then how can we apply this detail over here? Then measure the mass of initial product C plus O2. Maybe let's take it's equal to 100 gram. Then this resultant product has 98 gram. Where is the 2 gram mass? Maybe this 2 gram mass release the energy in the form of heat. After this chemical process, 100 gram of C plus O2 convert into 98 gram of CO2. Then where the 2 gram goes? This 2 gram convert into heat energy. Then this heat energy is generated by the 2 gram, and 2 gram is the mass. Means during the bondation of C and O2, this 2 gram is used as the heat energy to create a bond between C and O2. Clear हो रहा है आपको? Then I want to simply say that Einstein told us mass can convert into any type of energy, and any type of energy convert into mass. Like the relation for mass and energy is over here. E is equal to mc square. Energy is equal to mass into square of light light speed. Clear हो रहा है? Then E is equal to mc square. Clear हो गया ये equation? Remember my word, this equation is the one of the most important equation of this chapter. You can understand this equation, value of this equation after the second point. Okay, let's take the nuclear binding energy. Listen my word, if you know the binding energy of this chapter, if you understand the nuclear binding energy of this chapter, you may be able to calculate any of the sum from this chapter. Then listen, the next topic, binding energy. Okay, one confession, I can't speak English very fluently, obviously, but our principal madam says that try to speak as much as possible. Okay, then I have trying or practicing my English speaking with you during this lecture. So if I speak something grammatically wrong or wrong pronunciation or wrong sentence, then forgive me. Okay, my main motto is to understand you the topics or the theory of physics. Okay, chalo, then binding energy. What is the binding energy? Now we know that in nucleus we had neutrons and positive protons, this kind of all of things. Then we expect that the mass of nucleus is equal to the mass of individual protons and neutrons. Listen, if this is my nucleus of 1 2 3 4 4 proton and 3 neutron, then mass of this nucleus is equal to the individual total mass of this proton, 3 proton and 4 proton and 3 neutron. But we know but experimentally we get that this is not the same. In case of oxygen atom, 8O16, we had 8 protons, we had 16 minus 8 means 8 neutrons and 8 electrons. We all know that we had 8 protons, 8 neutron and 8 electron. Look at this table. Look at this table. Then to a mass of one proton into multiply by 8, we get the total mass of protons in the nucleus. Then mass of one protons is equal to 1.00727 unified mass. Mass of one neutron 8 into 1.00866 unified mass, and mass of one electron is equal to 8 into 0.0005555 unified mass. If we multiply this number with this and add, then we get the mass of total mass is 16.12744 unified mass. Look, I am writing this number from this book. I don't remember this number, and I have to say that you also don't have to remember this number. But sometimes during this theoretical topic, if we in the question, in the exams, if they ask the binding energy explanation, then you have to remember this number or any number. बेसिकली आपको यही नंबर याद रखना है. न्यूट्रॉन्स का मास, प्रोटॉन का मास, न्यूट्रॉन का मास एंड इलेक्ट्रॉन का मास. ये मुझे रिमेंबर है, तो मैं कैलकुलेशन कभी भी कर सकता हूँ. देन लिसन माय वर्ड. इंडिविजुअली if we add this total mass, we get 16.12744 unified mass. And from spectrometer, if we measure the nucleus mass of 8 or 16, we get 15.99493 unified mass. Okay, this is the my mistake. This mass is minusing the mass of electron. Listen, 8 or 16 means what? 8 proton, 8 neutron and 8 electron. But we have to find out only mass of nucleus, and electrons are not in the nucleus. So for that we are पावर कट हो गया फिर से, बट मे बी ये अच्छे से दिख रहा है तो ध्यान से सुनना. We have to minus this electron mass from this total mass. We get total mass is equal to 16.12744 unified mass. We minus the electron mass, then we get the mass of individual particle, nucleons, proton and neutron. न्यूक्लियंस क्या होते हैं? प्रोटॉन एंड न्यूट्रॉन को मिला के. देन वी गेट द मास ऑफ न्यूक्लियंस इंडिविजुअली, दैट इज 15.99493 unified mass. From the spectrometer, we get the mass of nucleus is equal to 15.99053 unified mass. This is the mass of nucleus when they are bonding in the nucleus. By spectrometer, when 8 protons and 8 neutrons are binding in the nucleus, then we get this mass by spectrometer 15.99053, and this is our nucleon mass individually by measuring 15.99493. Then clearly we can saw that this mass of nucleus during the bondation is less than the total mass of individual particles. If we subtract this value from this, we get the number 0. I don't remember all this point. 0.13691 unified mass. Means this much of mass is lesser during the bondation of this nucleus, या फिर during the creation of this nucleus. If we add 8 proton, listen my word, if we add 8 proton and 8 neutron together to create the nucleus of oxygen atom, then the mass of 0.13691 unified mass is used, and we get 15.99053 unified mass. Okay, then where this mass gone? Or say in the different style, if we add, listen my word carefully, if we add energy from this mass to this nucleus, then we can separate this proton and neutron into individual. Means अगर मैं इस मास जितनी एनर्जी को फिर से इस न्यूक्लियस में दे दूं, देन मैं इन न्यूक्लियस के सारे प्रोटॉन एंड न्यूट्रॉन्स को फिर से सेपरेट कर सकता हूं. बिकॉज इतनी एनर्जी उसे मिलने से या फिर इतना मास इसे मिलने से फिर से वो इंडिविजुअल मास जितना हो जाएगा. देन दिस lesser mass is called mass defect delta m. It's called mass defect. Okay, mass defect. This is our capital M, means what? Mass of the nucleus. This is our total mass, individual mass. If we minus individually proton and neutron mass from this mass, we get the mass defect. Then the equation of mass defect delta m is equal to total number of protons into mass of one proton, means we get the total mass of proton, plus total number of neutrons. You know now how to get the number of neutrons, a minus z. Look at here, 16 minus 8, we get 8 neutrons. 16 is the number of nucleons, 8 is the number of proton. Then minus the number of proton from this nucleon number, we get the remaining neutrons number. Okay, then my equation is delta m is equal to z into mp plus number of neutrons, a minus z into mn, number of one neutron, minus total mass of nucleus, capital M. Then we can cancel या फिर we can subtract our mass from total individual number of proton and neutron, we get the mass defect. And from mass defect we can find out the energy of mass defect. Then this is our E is equal to delta M into C square, which means this delta M mass defect energy is used to bind the bond. Then this much of energy is released. Listen my word carefully. If we had 8 proton and 8 neutron, we can bind them to create nucleus. This much of mass energy, this much of mass energy is released in the form of heat or any of the form, but this much of energy is released during this bondation. And the same way, if we apply this much of mass energy to this nucleus, then we can separate neutron and proton, 8 proton and 8 neutron into separated form. क्लियर हो रहा है? अगर मैं 8 प्रोटॉन एंड 8 न्यूट्रॉन को एक साथ बॉन्ड बनाने के लिए एक साथ जोड़ूं और न्यूक्लियस क्रिएट करूं, तो इतना मास जितनी एनर्जी रिलीज होगी. एंड सेम वे में अगर मैं इतने मास जितनी एनर्जी अगर इस न्यूक्लियस को दे दूं, तो मैं फिर से सेपरेट कर सकता हूं 8 प्रोटॉन एंड 8 न्यूट्रॉन को. क्लियर हो रहा है आपको अब तो? ओके, देन अब आपको पता चला आइंस्टाइन की इक्वेशन की इंपॉर्टेंस. Then this Einstein energy equation is most of the relevant to the nuclear energy. Okay, now listen my word. If I apply, listen my word, if I apply this much of mass defect energy to this nucleus, we can separate all the proton and neutron into individual proton and neutron. Then we can say that this mass defect energy is our binding energy. To break the bond between proton and neutron, we have to apply the energy of mass defect to this nucleus to separate them into individual. Clear हो रहा है? Then our mass defect energy is also called the binding energy, EB. Binding energy means energy which is required to break the bond between proton and neutron. Which is the bond between, which force is there between the neutron and proton to attract them and stay in the bond? This force is called strong nuclear force. स्ट्रॉन्ग न्यूक्लियर फोर्स, जिसके बारे में आपने 11th के फर्स्ट चैप्टर में पढ़ा था. 4 यूनिवर्सल फोर्सेस, ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स, स्ट्रॉन्ग न्यूक्लियर फोर्स, वीक न्यूक्लियर फोर्स, इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक फोर्स. These 4 forces are universal force. Okay, then one of them are strong nuclear force, which has the range of only proton to some nearby atom, nearby particles, proton, neutron. Clear? The strong nuclear force are there to attract each other and stay together to exist the इस न्यूक्लियस के लाइफ के लिए स्ट्रॉन्ग न्यूक्लियर फोर्स बहुत ज़्यादा जरूरी है. समझो, स्ट्रॉन्ग न्यूक्लियर फोर्स यहाँ पे नहीं होता तो ये स्टेबल नहीं रह पाता, यानी कि स्ट्रॉन्ग न्यूक्लियर फोर्स इसे स्टेबल रखता है. अब उस स्टेबिलिटी को ब्रेक करने के लिए जो एनर्जी चाहिए उसे बाइंडिंग एनर्जी कहते हैं. Then if we apply this much of mass defect energy to this nucleus, we can break to this atom to individual proton and neutron. Means this mass defect energy is our original binding energy, EB. Clear हो रहा है? And one more most important thing is binding energy per nucleon, EBN. Okay, I have wrote over here EBN. EBN is the binding energy per nucleon. Means what? Binding energy of nucleus divided by number of nucleus. Means we can calculate the individually find out the one proton or one neutron to escape from nucleus, how much energy is required. Then this energy is binding energy per nucleon. This is EBN, EB by A. Clear हो रहा है? Then we can show the plot for binding energy per nucleon, and we derive some details from this plot. Okay, look at this plot. Look at this plot. uh, Binding energy per nucleon versus mass. Clear? Means look at this plot. As the mass increases, the binding energy per nucleon also increase at somewhere between the range of 32 to 150 or 127 nearby. Look at this area, during from 32 to 125 or 150 के आसपास. The energy is highest and constant, nearly constant all the time. Look at that area. Okay, and the second observation is for less than 30 number and greater than 150 or 170 number, the energy again decreases. Greater than 150 or 170, energy get decreased. Less than 130, energy get decreased. Energy of binding energy per nucleon get decreases. Then listen, I get two observation. First one is 30 less than, oh, look at this point. I get two observation. First one is 30 less than A, less than 170. I had the constant or say nearly constant binding energy per nucleon. Nearly constant binding energy per nucleon for the atom mass range of 30 to 170. I can explain how this happened, but before that we have write down the observation from this plot. Okay, observation from this plot. First observation is constant energy between this range, and maximum energy is where? Look, where is the peak energy point? At Fe56. Look at that point, Fe56. This point we had the peak energy, and the peak energy is 8.54 or 8.5 mega electron volt. And at U is equal to U20 238, we had the energy of 7.5 mega electron volt. Look, you can say that this is the just a number, 8.5 mega electron volt or 7.5 mega electron volt, but the fact is our Kakrapar plant. Do you heard about the Surat's Kakrapar plant? Okay, this plant had the 6 or 5 maybe mega electron volt energy production per year. And from only this nucleus, Fe56 nucleus, if we want to break the one, if we want to separate the one nucleon from this nucleus, we have to put them, or we can say we have to apply 8.5 mega electron volt of energy. Clear? This our plant has 6 mega electron volt per year of energy, and this individual nucleus, if we want to separate one proton from this nucleus, we have to apply 8.5 mega electron volt of energy. Clear हो रहा है? And this is why I wrote this data, uranium, because most of the nuclear power station use uranium, because uranium is radioactive atom. Okay, radioactive metal, uranium 238 we can break. If we break them, further discussion about breaking and fusion and fission, all of the detail are there in this our chapter. Okay, then uranium, if we want to separate one proton from this uranium, we have to apply 7.5 mega electron volt of energy. Okay, now this is our first observation. And what about the second observation? For less than 30 number, for less than 30 or for greater than 170, mass of greater than 170 or less than 130, energy get decreased. Again EBN number is decreasing. Clear? From these two observation we get some important detail, and we I am writing that detail over here. Okay, let's start from one by one. The detailing of this four most important detail are there, and last two are very much important for further discussion of this chapter. Then first detail, what is the first detail? Look at this point. We have to apply 8.5 mega electron volt of energy to separate one proton from this nucleus of Fe. Then we can say that in the nucleus, the strong nuclear force is of attraction type. First of all is attraction type. And the second detail is it's very, very strong. This force, attraction force, is very, very strong. This very strong force are there. Okay, then the second and the one of the most important detail, and again asked the question, is why the energy is constant for 30 to 170. Okay, then we can understand this point by one example. Let's take one nucleus over here, in which we had some protons and neutron. Okay, first of all I have to draw this sketch. Okay, we had this much of proton and neutron in this nucleus. Now this strong nuclear force has the very, very low range. Very low range means what? This proton attract this neutron nearby, this neutron, this proton and this neutron. Only these are the nearby particle which are attracted by this proton by the strong nuclear force. If we take this neutrons which is not attracted by this proton, but this neutron attract nearby protons, neutrons, proton, neutron, then in the same way this neutron attract nearby protons, neutrons. Then what is my motto is strong nuclear force is very much strong but has the lower range. Means what? If I add one proton from here, then which this proton can't attract by this force, this proton can't attract by this neutron. Means what? This proton only increase the EBN only for nearby nucleons. Means what? As we increase much and much proton and neutron in this, we only increase small number of EBN. Why? इस प्रोटॉन के ऊपर सिर्फ आसपास के थोड़े बहुत न्यूक्लियॉन्स ही फोर्स इंक्रीज करेंगे, यानी कि ईबीएम में बहुत कम इंक्रीज होगा. जैसे एक और प्रोटॉन में यहाँ पे ऐड करता हूँ, नियर बाय प्रोटॉन एंड न्यूट्रॉन्स आर अट्रैक्टिंग दिस प्रोटॉन. सो तो उस वजह से उस ईबीएन की वैल्यू में कोई भी इतना ज्यादा इंक्रीज नहीं होने वाला है, बिकॉज ईबीएन मीन्स एनर्जी रिक्वायर या फिर बाइंडिंग एनर्जी पर न्यूक्लियन. मीन्स व्हाट? एनर्जी रिक्वायर टू सेपरेट वन न्यूक्लियन फ्रॉम दिस न्यूक्लियस. if I add one proton over here and if I want to separate this proton from here, nothing can be changed after adding this proton. मीन्स व्हाट? अगर मैं थोड़े बहुत इसके अंदर और न्यूक्लियॉन्स ऐड भी करते जाऊं, उस ईबीएन की एनर्जी में कोई चेंज नहीं होने वाला है. उस वजह से 30 to 170 तक आप ऐड करते जाओ, कोई भी इतनी ज़्यादा एनर्जी का फ्लक्चुएशन होने वाला नहीं है, बिकॉज द लो रेंज एंड वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग फोर्स. वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग फोर्स की वजह से उस जगह पे एनर्जी की वैल्यू पहुंच जाता है, बट फिर भी वो कांस्टेंट है बिकॉज ऑफ लो रेंज. एंड दिस फिनोमिना ऑल्सो कॉल द saturation of nucleus. Saturation of nucleus means what? Nucleus is saturated from all the point. आप कहीं से भी देखो, कहीं पे भी देखो, हर जगह पे सेम एनर्जी and constant energy is required to separate them, or constant energy is there to bond them at the same point. अगर मैं इस एरिया की बात करूं तो इस एरिया में इस प्रोटॉन को जितने भी एटम ने अट्रैक्ट करके रखा है, उस वजह से जो एनर्जी यहाँ पे अट्रैक्शन की है, सेम एनर्जी यहाँ पे भी होगी, सेम एनर्जी यहाँ पे भी होगी. हर एक जगह पे एनर्जी की सेम वैल्यू होगी क्योंकि वो नियर बाय एटम को ही अट्रैक्ट करता है. उस वजह से उसे सैचुरेशन ऑफ न्यूक्लियस भी कहते हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि लो एनर्जी है. अगर इस प्रोटॉन को यहाँ इस बाउंड्री वाला प्रोटॉन भी अट्रैक्ट करता तो शायद उसके अंदर एनर्जी इंक्रीज डिक्रीज होने की वजह से सैचुरेशन नहीं हो पाता, फ्लक्चुएशन होते रहता. बट यहाँ पे लो रेंज की वजह से सैचुरेशन भी मिलता है न्यूक्लियस का. क्लियर हो रहा है? द सेकेंड ऑब्जर्वेशन डिटेल ऑफ सेकेंड ऑब्जर्वेशन में से जो ये सेकेंड डिटेल है वो वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट डिटेल है कि लो एनर्जी सॉरी वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग फोर्स बट वेरी लो रेंज. उस वजह से हमें EBN कांस्टेंट मिलता है. एंड द सेकंड थिंग इज सैचुरेशन ऑफ न्यूक्लियस भी मिलता है हमें. देन थर्ड एंड फोर्थ आर देयर फॉर देयर. देखो थर्ड एंड फोर्थ जो डिटेल है ना आर वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट डिटेल फॉर द फर्दर टॉपिक. द थर्ड डिटेल इज फॉर ऑफ फ्यूजन. यू नो द न्यूक्लियर फ्यूजन रिएक्शन. चलो बाय एग्जांपल लेट्स टेक mass of nucleus 240, mass of nucleus 240 and from plot. देखो यहाँ पे प्लॉट देखो, प्लॉट से हमें क्या पता चलता है? एनर्जी ऑफ 240 इज लेसर कंपेयर टू एनर्जी बिटवीन 30 to 170. ये भी हमने यहाँ पे देखा 30 to 170 में जितनी एनर्जी है उसके कंपेयर में यहाँ पे 240 पे एनर्जी लेस है. अब अगर मैं इस न्यूक्लियस को 240 मास वाले न्यूक्लियस को अगर मैं ब्रेक कर दूं टू इंडिविजुअल 120 in 120, देन व्हाट हैपन? देखो यहाँ पे 120 के लिए तो एनर्जी बहुत ज्यादा है 30 to 170 की रेंज में. तो वहां पे मीन्स व्हाट? इफ आई ब्रेक 240 न्यूक्लियस इनटू टू सेपरेटेड 120 न्यूक्लियस, एनर्जी ऑफ EBN, एनर्जी ऑफ बाइंडिंग एनर्जी पर न्यूक्लियन हैज टू बी इंक्रीज इन दिस न्यूक्लियस. अंडरस्टैंड माई वर्ड? अगर ये न्यूक्लियस के पास एनर्जी थी 240 के लिए समथिंग समथिंग, अगर मैं इसे ब्रेक कर दूं और सेपरेट कर दूं टू न्यूक्लियस में, देन इस जो न्यू न्यूक्लियस क्रिएट हो रहा है उसके पास एनर्जी ज़्यादा होनी चाहिए उसके पेरेंट न्यूक्लियस से भी. पेरेंट न्यूक्लियस से भी यहाँ पे एनर्जी इंक्रीज होनी चाहिए, बाइंडिंग एनर्जी इंक्रीज होनी चाहिए. एंड इफ वी वॉन्ट टू इंक्रीज द बाइंडिंग एनर्जी ऑफ दिस न्यूक्लियस, दिस nucleons of this nucleus has to be tightly packed, much more tightly packed than this parent nucleus. समझो इस पेरेंट न्यूक्लियस को अगर मैं ब्रेक कर दूं 120 में, तो इस 120 वाले के अंदर जो भी न्यूक्लियन रिमेनिंग है उसे और भी टाइटली पैक्ड होना पड़ेगा, यानी कि और भी स्ट्रॉन्ग बॉन्ड क्रिएट करना होगा. और जैसे ही वो और भी टाइटली पैक्ड होके बॉन्ड क्रिएट करने की कोशिश करेंगे, उस बॉन्डिंग में वो अपना कुछ मास लूज करेंगे और वो मास रिलीज होगा इन द फॉर्म ऑफ एनर्जी. वो जितना भी मास लूज हो रहा है उसे हम मास डिफेक्ट कहते हैं, एंड विच इज रिलीज इन द फॉर्म ऑफ एनर्जी विच वी कैन डिराइव बाय E इज इक्वल टू डेल्टा M इंटू C स्क्वायर. क्लियर हो रहा है? देन दिस process of nucleus breaking is called the fission process. In the same way, fourth detail, fusion dance. आपने सुना होगा फ्यूजन डांस मीन्स एक साथ गिटार करके नाचना, उसे कहते हैं फ्यूजन डांस. सेम वे में फ्यूजन मीन्स व्हाट? हमें और ज्यादा छोटे छोटे न्यूक्लियस को एक साथ करना होगा. समझो इफ वी हैड दी atom of less than 10 या फिर nearly equal to 10 mass, if we add 10 10 2 or 3 or more atom of 10 mass, then we can create higher mass. Higher mass means range of 30 to 170 means again we need higher bonding energy compared to this atom. Again we want higher bonding energy, means what, again this atom, मानो अगर A10 के मेरे पास 4 न्यूक्लियस है, A10 के मेरे पास 4 न्यूक्लियस है, अगर मैं इस 4 न्यूक्लियस को एक साथ फ्यूजन करूं एंड आई वांट टू क्रिएट द न्यूक्लियस ऑफ 40, A इज इक्वल टू 40, बट प्रॉब्लम क्या होगी पता है, अगर मैं 40 की रेंज में जाता हूं देन माई 40 की रेंज, माई रेंज ऑफ 40 इज हायर बाइंडिंग एनर्जी, हायर बाइंडिंग एनर्जी मीन्स व्हाट, इस 40 के अंदर जितने भी 40 के 40 न्यूक्लियॉन्स होंगे उससे और भी ज़्यादा टाइटली पैक होना होगा, और भी ज़्यादा टाइटली पैक्ड होने की वजह से वो अपने मास को लूज करेंगे टू क्रिएट अ हायर और स्ट्रॉन्गर बॉन्ड बिटवीन देम. To create a higher bonding energy, they lose the mass in the form of energy. This mass is called mass defect delta M. The energy of mass defect is delta mc square, which is the Einstein equation. E is equal to mc square. क्लियर हो रहा है? तो मैंने बताया था मास एनर्जी वाली इक्वेशन मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट है, और ये है फ्यूजन एंड दिस इज आवर फ्यूजन प्रोसेस. फ्यूजन एंड फ्यूजन क्लियर हो रहा है? वी कैन क्रिएट this fission and fusion process both the way, controlled way and uncontrolled way. कंट्रोल वे में हो तो न्यूक्लियर रिएक्टर, अनकंट्रोल वे में हो तो न्यूक्लियर बॉम्ब. क्लियर हो रहा है? मोस्ट ऑफ द न्यूक्लियर रिएक्टर आर वर्किंग ऑन द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ दिस फ्यूजन प्रोसेस. most of the reactor, because uranium, most of the uranium 238 used, 238 are used in fission process. ब्रेक करो न्यूट्रॉन को, वो हम सब पढ़ने वाले हैं, ब्रेक करो तो रेंज में आ जाएंगे 30 से 170 के बीच में, तो एनर्जी रिलीज होगी क्योंकि और भी टाइटली बॉन्ड क्रिएट करना होगा. क्लियर हो रहा है? चलो तो यहाँ पे हम अपनी ये लेक्चर को ख़त्म करते हैं. नेक्स्ट टाइम वी मेट विद द न्यूक्लियर फोर्स, मे बी न्यूक्लियर फोर्स ही है नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, न्यूक्लियर फोर्स. Okay, if I had pronounced something wrong or spell something wrong, then forgive me for that. I have to practice much more for speaking English, and thank you all of you. चलो मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में. कोई भी क्वेश्चन हो, कहीं से भी कोई भी प्रॉब्लम हो, मन में डाउट मत रखो, क्वेश्चन पूछो, हम उसी के लिए. आई कैन एक्सप्लेन यू इन दी बोथ वे, सेम वे, एनी ऑफ द वे. मुझे बहुत सारी वेज पता है आपको एक्सप्लेन करने की, बट वो तभी निकलेगी जब आप क्वेश्चन पूछोगे, वरना मैं एकदम बेसिक में जो पढ़ रहा हूँ वही पढ़ाऊँगा. बहुत ज़्यादा डीप थिंकिंग से नहीं पढ़ाऊँगा, वरना आपको नहीं समझ में आएगा. ओके चलो तो क्लियर करते हैं. हमारी आज की मेन जो डिटेलिंग थी ये सारी है. फर्स्ट थिंग इज लो रेंज की वजह से बाइंडिंग एनर्जी इंक्रीज हो रही है. सेकेंड थिंग इज फिजन, थर्ड थिंग इज फ्यूजन, एंड दी वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज आइंस्टाइन्स मास एनर्जी इक्वेशन, इज इक्वल टू mc स्क्वायर और डेल्टा mc स्क्वायर, एंड दी EBN, बाइंडिंग एनर्जी पर न्यूक्लियर. ओके चलो मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में, तब तक के लिए बाय बाय.